factor that brings about a deterioration, therefore I must destroy the image in order to achieve a greater result, to make the mind young, fresh, and all the rest of it. And he struggles, he explains, he justifies, or adds, strives to alter it to a better image. And it's very important to understand. And effort, struggle in different ways, either physically or psychologically, as competition, as ambition, aggression, violence, pride, accumulated resentment, and so on, is one of the factors of deterioration. So when one realizes that the observer is the image maker, then our whole process of thinking undergoes a tremendous change. And so the image is the known. So as long as the brain, as long as the whole mind, in which is the mind, brain and the body, the whole mind functions within the field of the image, which is the known, of which one may be conscious or not, in that field is the factor of deterioration. Right? Please don't accept it as an idea which you will think about when you go home. You won't anyhow. But I mean, here we are doing it, taking the thing together. Therefore you must do it now, not when you go home and say, well, I've taken notes and I've understood it, I'll think about it. Don't take notes, because that doesn't help at all. So the question arises, is it possible to empty the mind of the known? You understand? Am I making myself clear? Doesn't matter. One must have asked this question vaguely or with a purpose, because one suffers, one has anxieties, whether it's possible to go beyond, or one has vague hints of it. Now we are asking it, we are asking it as a question which must be answered, as a challenge which must be responded to. And this challenge is not an outward challenge, but a psychological inward challenge. And we're going to find out whether it is possible to empty the mind of the known. This emptying of the mind is meditation. And one must go into this question of meditation. Explain it a little bit. All the Asiatic people are conditioned by this world. So-called religious, serious people are conditioned by this world. Because through meditation they hope to find something which is not, which is something beyond mere daily existence. And to find it, they have various systems, very, very subtle or very crude, like the Zen. And also in that so-called meditative systems is concentration, fixing the mind on one idea or one thought or one symbol and so on. And also there are various forms of stimulation, forcing oneself, stimulating oneself, and that is to expand consciousness more and more through will, through effort, through concentration, through determination to force. And by extending this consciousness, one hopes to arrive at a different state or a different dimension, or reach a point which the conscious mind cannot. Or one takes many, many drugs, including the latest, LSD and so on. That gives, for the moment, tremendous stimulation to the whole system. And in that state, one experiences extraordinary things. Extraordinary things through stimulation, through concentration, through discipline, through starvation, fasting. If one fasts for some days, one has obviously peculiar things happening. And one takes drugs, and that for the moment makes the body extraordinarily sensitive. You receive colors which are most extraordinary, which you have never seen before. You see everything so clearly, there is no space between you and that thing which you see. And this goes on in various forms throughout the world. The repetition of words, like in the Catholic, or in those prayers, which all make the mind a little calm, quiet, obviously, which is a trick. If you keep on repeating, you get so dull. Obviously, you go to sleep and you think that's very quiet mind. But that's not meditation. So one can brush all that aside. Even though one is committed to it, we can throw all that out of the window. And as you are listening, I hope you'll throw it out. Because we are going to something much deeper than this invention. One can put all that aside. Because the more one practices a discipline, the more the mind becomes dull, mechanized. And that mechanizing routine process makes the mind somewhat quiet, but it is not the quietness of tremendous energy understanding. Then we can proceed to inquire whether it's at all possible to free the mind from the known. Not only the known of 1,000 years, but also of yesterday. The memory, which is memory. Which doesn't mean that I forget the way to the house that we live in, or technology. That obviously one must have. That's essential. Otherwise, we can't live. But we are talking of things, something much